What's
It's
up,
gonna take you
Tech?
to the
Thank
BMC
you for
scene.
joining Champagne
Nice.
and Conversations. How
Yeah.
are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. I am great.
Yes,
Ready to rock out.
thank you. Guys, we are just running a little behind because Tech had a meeting, so we wanted to wait patiently for that. But thank you for joining us, and we are so excited to talk to you, sir.
Yup, we're here now. All right, let's go.
Yes, you're in the car, but he's not driving, so we're good. Yes, so how has everything been with obviously in this time with COVID, you've been able to stay COVID free, family, friends, all that good stuff?
Oh well, on that part, my wife had lost her dad to COVID, so
Oh, I'm
I
so
say
sorry.
condolences to everybody who lost someone. I know how
Absolutely.
painful it is. But on the most part, yeah, we've been able to stay COVID free and keep our immune systems nice and strong.
Yes, I'm so sorry to hear that. And are you in New York?
Yes, I am in New York. I'm in this
Okay.
rainy weather, floating down the West Side Highway.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. Now we're gonna talk about the music, of course, but I did notice that you had some glasses on your site, and I wanted to find out, is it a brewery? Do you have a beer that is associated with those glasses, or you do?
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you. I have an
Yes.
IPA collaboration going with my people from Hip Hop Beer Craft. It's called
Okay.
Bucktown Haze.
Yes.
It's the hold on, what the hell? It's
Someone's calling.
it's yeah, it's an IPA that I have in collaboration with them, which is an 8.8 alcohol volume on it. It's a good summery time haze type of taste to it.
Okay.
Um, Something that you can have with the family at a good barbecue or get together. It's really delicious. And I'm not really a beer drinker like that, but
Mm-hmm.
this has changed the whole spectrum of the game. It's the
Yes.
Bucktown Haze.
Bucktown Hayes. Now, is it everywhere or just in New York?
Actually, it's not even in New York yet. It's just actually in California or LA because that's
Okay.
where they're situated and that's where the brewery that we did. We was trying to find one in Staten Island, and I think it's Manhattan Brewery. We was talking about to bring it here to New York, but those are still in the works right now.
Okay. So, what was the inspiration on crafting a beer?
Um, it's really a different lane that we had came up with. Everybody is doing their weed strains and everything,
Right.
and I have a lot of older friends that don't really smoke weed. They're wine drinkers, they're beer drinkers, and it's a
Yeah.
great conversation piece.
Yes.
So I was presented with something, and I thought it was a great idea at the time. And it's just like hip hop and beer goes together at great at every shows.
Yes.
Go to any summer splash. The first thing you got is a beer line concession. So I thought it was a perfect time and to get in on the ground level and make it happen real quick.
So dope. And that's at craftkings.com to be
Yes,
able to get it. Okay.
craftbeerkings.com.
Craft
And
Beer
the
King.
name of the beer is Bucktown Haze.
Bucktown Hayes. Yes. And so you have the glassware to go along with it.
Yes,
So
we have
dope.
glasses as merch, and we have some T-shirts that's up on. You can either go through the link that's on my Instagram page, or you can hit them directly to order the beer. It comes in 4 packs because it's the big 12-ounce cans. So
Okay.
all you really need is like one of them, and you're gonna be feeling
Lit.
nice and wavy. You're gonna be
Yeah.
good.
Yes. I'm gonna have to try that either when I go to California or yes, checking out the
Thank you.
order. Yes, I actually really started in beer. I was in food and wine really heavy for a lot of years, and so beer became one of an interest, especially the craft beer,
Right.
just in the flavors and such. And then, of course, I took a liking to champagne, and I just graduated over from beer to that. But yeah, beer was definitely for the games and things like that. Like you said, concessions, it was necessary. So I was
Right.
so excited to ask you about it because I thought it was dope. Now, did you start that
Thank
in
you.
pandemic or was that something you were working on pre-pandemic?
Well, we actually started it before the pandemic,
Okay.
but on the rollout, we had to fall back because of the pandemic started. So we wasn't able to get to the breweries. That's why we actually couldn't wait any longer. That's why we just had to go ahead and just do everything in LA because we was trying to have it set up where it would be released in LA and New York on the same day. But once the pandemic hit, that closed everything down. The breweries in Staten Island and New York, they weren't able to, well, nothing was really operating at that
Right.
time. So we
Right.
just had to go ahead and try to get it going in LA. So now that's the trouble with getting it over to New York unless you go to that website to order it.
Yeah, well, timing is everything, but if it was meant to happen, wherever it happened, it did. So
There you go.
congratulations on that part.
Thank
And
you.
it'll happen
Appreciate it.
in other places, like you said, with the hip hop. And once everything opens back up and you all are touring and that kind of thing, then, it'll obviously be something that, it'll pick up, I'm sure, New York and
Thank
some
you.
of the other
Thank
places too, Atlanta, whatever, whatever. So yeah.
That's the goal, to get it out everywhere where you can go to your local pub or your neighborhood store and just ask for it by name, and it's right there for you.
Right. That's right. And definitely because it is a source of what you guys have, the origin, the legends, the hip hop. So
Right.
that'll make it
Right.
even more lit. So thank you for that information. I'm so excited that I saw that.
Thank
That
you.
wasn't quite probably what you thought I was going to ask you first, but
I seen you had liked the picture, so I just put one and one together, the champagne and beer. So I figured,
that's it.
that's okay. And they actually, I just got an email from them yesterday. I think we're at 5%, be five, almost sold out. We just have a little percentage left of
Oh,
it.
that's so cool. Okay.
We're about to start reing up on that as we speak.
Okay, I love it. So tell me, as it relates to growing up, what were your musical influences? How did you really get into the whole hip hop?
Oh, well, growing up, I wasn't really a hip hop fan, to be honest with you, but I was so much around music because my mom was a minister in a church, and my
Okay.
dad used to sit in for bands. He sat in for James Brown once in a while. He would play the drums. He played the saxophone. My uncles was doing music, as they called the sultry R&B of back in the days of what they was doing, the baby making music. So
Okay.
I was always around the music. I didn't really get into hip hop until maybe my early high school days, from banging on the lunchroom tables, playing spades in the back of the lunchroom, cutting classes, acting up. And that's why I always say hip hop chose me, listening to Stretch and Bobito shows, Slick Rick and all them.
Right.
Uh, the Run DMC album, which I thought I was going to be a DJ on, trying to scratch that on a regular turntable that my moms would go crazy over me playing it on. And from there, it just evolved into, doing talent shows with my partner Still. He had a little following that he was doing. And he could have kept straight up to the bridge right in front of you. It's all good. But yeah, so that's how that came into play. And I just thank the Most High for putting me in a position to be able to still run with it.
Absolutely. And I noticed that, I didn't really want to ask how the name came about. I noticed that there was some controversy with the name, which once you all formed the group, I would have assumed so. So you all had to do something similar to what we're doing now in COVID and pivot a bit in changing the name of the group for a little bit of time, it looked like, just to get through, your startup phase. So how was that, and just having to transition from the Smith and Wesson name to your Cocoa?
I mean, I like to look at it as it was a gift and a curse.
Okay.
It was like a double-edged sword because, like you said, they hit us right at the beginning of our career when we started. So, I'm just answering a text from my wife real quick. I'll jump right
That's
back to
okay.
her.
Hi,
All right.
wifey.
So, okay, they hit us right at the beginning of our career. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as that name came, the cease and desist contracts paper came.
Right.
So the good thing is that the name Cocoa Brothers was always in the was actually our first name that we had. So it wasn't hard
Switch.
to convert over to the name. I
Mm-hmm.
say it was a gift and curse because at the same time it took a minute for the consumers to actually realize Smith-N-Wessun and Cocoa Brothers was, the same people, was actually us.
Yes.
But at that same time, it opened us up to a whole new I don't really like to use the word fans. It opened us up to a whole new audience
Friends.
of listeners.
Yeah.
Because once they rock with you and support you so much, they're like your family now. It's almost disrespectful to call them a fan sometimes, unless they play themselves and really fan out and geek out, and then you be like, little personal space here and there. But yeah, it opened us up to a whole brand new audience with Cocoa Brothers, and then just fighting for what we believed in, we was able to record back under the name Smith-N-Wessun, and that's why we
Yes.
stay with it.
Yes, so dope. And when you say a new fanship, was that allowing you guys to cross like abroad? So you weren't just like in the States, you were able to perform, in other places as well, Germany, France, so on and so forth.
I mean, I think through our Lord's blessing with our big little brothers Black Moon, with their first intro into the game, we was traveling with them already. So it already opened the people up to us. They was already expecting our own project, our Smith-N-Wessun project, because they were so kind enough to take us on the road with them and let us open up and get firsthand knowledge of it, just being thrown to the wolves and on a job training. That when
Right.
it dropped our album, it was so much easy. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was easier
Sure.
to
Uh-huh.
get those same bookings that was coming from, say, a Germany or Russia. So because we had already been over there with Black Moon. So
Right.
once our own personal album dropped, we was right back over there doing our own thing. I'm
Yeah.
actually going over the bridge, so the sound might start going crazy in a minute. It usually happens once I get to the middle of the bridge, but we can just
Okay.
rock.
Okay. So now as it relates to your projects overall, because you've had several album release in the last, well, actually in the last decade, it would definitely be, and you just celebrated 25 years with your first album, right? So congratulations for that. Was that during the COVID or right before the COVID?
That was right before the smack of the COVID. We was
Yeah.
able to have the 25th anniversary at Gramercy Theater. Our good friends came out. Mob Deep Havoc, Fame from Bill and Fame actually came out. So
Yeah.
that was dope. We had a few more people came out. Little C's came to rock out. Royal Flush, and this is people that's our hip hop peers that we're built a bond with over the years and consider family. So it was a
So
great turnout. Everyone showed up.
that's dope. And I know it was fire. I missed it. But what I was going to ask you is out of all of your projects, what was your favorite?
Oh man, that's like asking which is your favorite kid.
Kid.
They all your babies.
That's
You
it.
love them
What's your
all,
favorite
right?
kid?
Uh, there is. I mean, to be politically correct, I would have to say The Shining because it was our very first
First one.
project,
Hmm.
and it taught us and it gave us the placement for everything that we have now.
Sure.
So, but everything that we done, I still love it equally, and just blessed to be here to still keep doing it.
Absolutely. Now I will tell you that my favorite is Recognize. And then of course, when you all was able to add that to I Love You with Mary, that has been my like all
Oh,
time.
okay, okay. Okay.
So I'm a fan of that. Okay,
I
we'll
also
just
heard that was one of her favorite remixes of hers too. So I mean,
yes,
yeah, that
so
that that
dope.
record was pretty big for us. That remix was dope for us. That I Love You remix.
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, I will say when I first knew that you and I were going to have this conversation, I was like doing cartwheels with the music because I was like, that is my song. Yes. And then my mind kept saying, okay, you got to go listen to the other music. I'm like, yeah, 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 I'll get to that. But I just want to keep
I
listening to this
get to
one.
that. Right, right.
But I do like Recognize because that was the original of where it came from. So I do understand that part. But then when you all put it with Mary and That's My Girl, I'm like, oh yes,
Okay.
this is everything. This is the female anthem. Yes. So that's
Thank you. Got it. Got it.
so do you all plan to I guess after COVID or summertime, are you all going to tour? Are you planning to kind of start that back up since you did have the anniversary and a break?
Well, right now it looks like the world is starting to open back up slowly.
Right.
Uh, we actually something. I think I seen it. So I mean, God willing, we'll be back in the swing of things in
Right.
no time.
Right. Do you all have a new project planned, or you would pretty much tour with what you already have, your what you have in your mix now, what you have already downloaded?
Say that again.
Do you have a new project that you're working on?
Well, I just released You talking about Smif-N-Wessun or a solo project?
Well, we're going to get to your solo project, but yes, do you have a
Okay.
Smith and
Well, as
Wesson?
far as Smif-N-Wessun, yeah, we're talking right now. We've been talking about going back into the studio with Soul Councils and Ninth Wonder since they did the All album, which we dropped last year.
Right.
So and really right now it's a gamble. It's a bid on the table, or we're gonna do a project with Static Selector. So we just constantly working, just trying to take
Yes,
advantage of it while
opportunity
you can.
on top of opportunity. So now that you brought up my friend Ninth Wonder, Ninth Wonder and Pete Rock, you've worked with both of them as producers. I know here I go again asking you probably a tough question, but one producer over the other, do you have a preference?
Hmm. Between Knife and Pete, damn, you're gonna make it hard to get beats from either one of them now.
I just had to ask because then listen, maybe we can put them in the verses and then others can decide and it won't just be
I
you.
mean, yeah, that's a question for the people to answer and decide. That they are both my brothers, and they are both
Yeah,
dope at the craft that they do. They are both musical geniuses. They both see. I have a difference between like a producer and just a beat maker. These are both of them are beat makers. They give you feedback. They give you ideas of how to construct and build and make a complete record.
sure.
Whereas a beat maker might just give you a beat and be like, "Yo, whatever you do to it, just get it back to me, and then I'll do
Right.
it." Nah, these both of these are giants on the production tip, and
Sure.
they both are beautiful people, man. They know they know what they're doing.
Yes, that definitely is it. And I know that you had worked with both, so I was just like, let me see if you'll answer that question. But you politically correctly got out of that
Yeah,
part of
I
it,
got
so
it. I got it.
we'll let you off in that way.
Okay,
You think
okay.
they're both dope, and I knew you would say that, but I just thought
Oh, you
maybe
know
you
you
might have.
going that yet? She could have kept going straight. The studio right there. He could have kept going straight down. My bad.
Taking the
Exactly.
scenic route.
Yeah.
Um, so now talking about your solo project, which I like Illis, I really do. After I get off of my I love you, I'm over in the Illis part. Okay.
Okay.
So now that I'm there, as it related to the inspiration for your solo project, was there anything specific that led you that direction?
Um. Well, really, it was the pandemic that smacked us. That really set me down and had me put my life in perspective of what's going on was out here. My wife losing her dad, um, us losing Sean Price, our brother. My my
Sorry
my
about that.
dad had just survived a stroke, so it was real life changing shit that was really going down as far as my personal life was concerned. So with all that happening, I just tried to find something that I could bury myself in, and I guess try to escape all that and come out with something worth, I don't know, the pain of going through it. And I think that helped me create more and was able to make going into the studio and being able to create the music for Priceless. I don't want to say easier, but it made it go smoother.
Yeah, because it was definitely from the heart. And that's what an artist does. I mean, wherever your inspiration is coming from is going to be the motivation to produce something crazy. And I think it was definitely dope, especially since it was a solo project for you. Now you sampled. And you sampled another one of my favorites in the track. Well, you may not have specifically done it, but obviously the team in which put the music together. So, what was the influence behind Biggie being part of that?
Well, Big, that was paying homage to my Gemini brother, Biggie Smalls. It was from Bedford Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, and the producer GQ Beats. He had the idea of the track, and again, I just went to the DJ Static Selector and gave him my take on it, my idea, and he put the scratches together, and it was like magic right there happening.
Yeah, yeah, the ill is definitely magic.
And we stopped
Um,
by the Greek bar. You know where's that?
so do you have plans to continue on the solo side, or what are your thoughts on there? Any more
Make the next
influences?
right. Make the right on Myrtle. On Myrtle. Myrtle. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I I'm just gonna be continue creating as much as possible.
Hmm.
So I have my PNC, my partner's blessing is to continue working it solo. I have another partner PNC with my brother Flash that we got as culture pushers that we putting out together, and of course we're working on a Smif-N-Wessun. I'm just creating, man. I don't want to try to separate when my artistry creativity to make it happen. So
Hmm.
I just want to keep going, because once you start trying to do that and overthink it, then you're like, oh, this got to go here, or I can only rap or rhyme like this for this project. No, I just want to be able to create without a full range of motion and have no constraints over it.
Absolutely. And that's the genius about being an artist, because like you said, anything could happen in terms of your influences from day to night and
Right.
change the whole narrative.
Right.
Now, and when you all were kind of moving through your career, were you all often compared to any specific group?
Was we compared to any group, you
Yeah,
said?
like any hip hop groups when you all were creating your music.
No, I don't think we was compared to anybody, because at the time when we came out, that was the great thing about it. That time, and you knew actually, straight up, right? Yeah, you knew actually which group was which group and who was
Right,
putting out music when it released
right.
it. You knew who Wu Tang was, you knew who Nas was, you knew who Mobb Deep was, and you knew who Black Moon and Smif-N-Wessun was. And then once we put Boot Camp together, it wasn't like today's market or today's sound where everybody has similar sounds and rhyme
Yes,
patterns and everything. No, everyone was stepping out on their own ledge, doing what they felt was the thing that they wanted to do, how they wanted to craft and shape it. So we wasn't really. In fact, the only one I would say, well, they handed us the baton to be going, was an EPMD, and that was because of the back and forth thing, or the
okay.
play that we did at Smith-N-Wesson. And even with them just being told by them, yo, y'all are next EPMD, or the way y'all do it is crazy. We did back and forth, but we never did it like that. So
Hmm.
we added our own stamp to it. So if anybody, I would say that was the only great that we was compared to, or any group, as far as as far as the back and forth EPMD. Next block when it come Cal at, past the next red light.
Yes, and I think that's dope. That is the reason why I asked you that, because in that era of time, there was no sound that was similar, or
Right.
there was anyone was biting, as I like to use from my brother Dougie Fresh. Everybody had to keep the original. So I was just curious, but I'm glad that you kind of clarified that, because we have that contrast now where they say, this person sounds like this and this person sounds like that. So the originality is limited in today's music versus when we were growing up in the golden era. So we are definitely happy and thankful for the contributions that you guys did to the music, to the work, to the artistry. We definitely had a party record in several of your album releases. We've had party records, and we do enjoy those. So we appreciate your contributions to that. I know you're trying to get to the studio, so we don't want to keep you too long, and we appreciate your time while you have been here on Champagne and Conversations to talk to us about your projects and, of course, your beer, because I'm certainly excited to try that.
Oh, man. Everything ready? He broke out. I said he broke out. The juice bar. He gone. I'm just trying to get my health kick on. This is my immune booster. If I can make it happen and catch the juice bar in time, so I can get my ginger and turmeric shots. But I think I might have missed them.
Lil C's does that too. Is that one of your influences? Because I know he's on to that ginger.
Who's that?
Lil C's. He loves the ginger.
Oh
shot.
yeah. But C's is all the way across town on the other side of Brooklyn, so I can't really catch up to him now. We have a good juice bar right here on Myrtle called Job Vitality. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. Is it open?
Nah, I think I missed it. The light is on, but I might not get the VIP treatment today.
Well, we definitely won't keep you. I just will ask you one last thing, and then we will give you your flowers and tell you to continue on, and we'll look for new projects from you. Do you plan to get the vaccination?
Hell no, I'm not fucking with that. That I'm not doing.
Okay. All right.
I go hard on the natural. I'm a strong believer that the body heals itself, and everything we need to heal is within us. So I'm not going for that FDA approved in 1 week type stuff and have me cripple within the next month after I take it. But I'm not knocking anybody who have taken it. That's for them. But no, yeah, you know how to get there from there. Navigation. Oh, you can go straight up. But no, I'm not taking it.
And as it relates to your immunity, what combinations of vitamins are you taking?
I do the CMOS. I do a lot of vitamin C and vitamin D.
Right.
I do the ginger shots mixed with turmeric with some cayenne pepper mixed into it.
Mm-hmm.
I do wheatgrass maybe like 2-3 days out of the week. And I drink a lot of lemon water.
Okay, so it sounds like you've got the routine, you've got the regimen down, especially since you had that in your family.
The inhaling the orange pills when that first came out. I did all that, and but the remedy that I have for the most has been working, so I keep it simple like that.
Well, good for you. Tech, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a busy schedule, and we do appreciate you sharing, dropping some gems, giving us some information on new and upcoming projects, and we'll definitely stay plugged in to what you have coming up. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you all's artistry. We wanted to just give you your love and your flowers while we can do that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. So Tech, ladies and gentlemen, Champagne and Conversations. And before we go, please share your social media if in fact you want your fans to follow you.
Okay. You said you want me to give it to them, or you gonna
just give it to them. I can post it for you as well.
Okay, well, On Twitter and Instagram, it's Tech Smokey La. TEKSMOKEELAH, Tech Smokey La. And that's not me on Facebook. So if I don't reply back, I'm sorry. That ain't me.
Okay. Thank you so much from Champagne and Conversations. We appreciate